Candace Owens is the host of Candace, and we're always grateful to have her on our air. Candace Owens, great to see you tonight. What's the message of this? U.S. embassies flying the Black Lives Matter flag.
The U.S. embassies are celebrating Black Death. The consequence of the Black Lives Matter movement, and I cringe when people call it Black Lives Matter protests, because you know what, Tucker, it is Black Lives Matter riots. The cities burned for 6 weeks straight following the death of George Floyd. Black neighborhoods were rioted, they were looted, and it led to more Black death. Way more Black Americans died during the Black Lives Matter riots than the one Black American that was killed by a police officer that allegedly started this entire spree. And it really makes you ask questions. Why is America promoting this so much? Why is America promoting Black Lives Matter, which is a corporation, right? So think of it as a corporation. Black Lives Matter raises money, and it's dark money, Tucker, because nobody knows where the money goes. So why would the U.S. government stand behind that? Where is the due diligence here? If the U.S. State Department is going to stand behind this, shouldn't the U.S. State Department also issue maybe a memo out to let us know where the money's going? Wouldn't that be the responsible thing, since Joe Biden wants to give billions more dollars to the IRS so they can take billions more from American taxpayers? Maybe he can also invest some of that money going to the IRS to look into Black Lives Matter and tell us where the money's going. I think they know where the money's going, and I think if they don't want us to look into it, there is a reason they have been promoting Black Lives Matter from the start, and it's definitely not because they want to save Black lives. Because Black Lives Matter, the movement and the incorporation, leads to more Black death. That much is indisputable.
As far as it's such a great point. And as far as I know, Black Lives Matter stands as a matter of policy against the nuclear family, which, speaking for myself, I think for you too, and for most people in this country, is the center of our lives. The nuclear family is kind of all that matters. Why, in our name as Americans and U.S. taxpayers, is the U.S. government promoting a group that opposes the nuclear family? And why are we putting up with this exactly?
Well, the government wants to make sure that families are torn apart. Every effort of what they do is to make sure families are torn apart. You did a very good job talking about even this trans agenda that's going on, which telling kids to pick their genders, telling kids to mutilate their bodies. I'm glad you covered that, because that also leads to the breakdown of family. A child that mutilates their body cannot have a productive family, right? It cannot have the nuclear family unit intact. That is the goal. And the goal is because if you believe in Karl Marx's ideologies, if you believe in Marxism, then you know what was crucial to Marx's ideology was making sure that the nuclear family and traditional families were broken down. Why, Tucker? Because in order for the government to replace mom and pop, there can be no mom and pop. They want you to turn to the government for every answer. They want no faith, they want no family, they want just government in the lives of every single American. This is Marxism manifest.
Yeah, and maybe there's a point at which, if you're trying to destroy the nuclear family, that we say, I'm sorry, that there's a line that you can't cross, and that's kind of it. Like, no, you're not allowed to do this. I hope people will start reaching that conclusion, because this is too far, in my view. Candace Owens, I appreciate the clarity that you always bring. Thank you.
Thank you.